I'm a little choked up from the past young lady and her speech, so forgive me. A few weeks ago, the question was raised, why are you here? And I would like to respectfully address this question. I'm here as a resident of Enfield who has a child in the school system. I have a lot of concerns about our government's overreach and its impact on the young citizens of Enfield. I believe that our Constitution has been breached. The courts will soon decide, as many states are in the process of suing our government. Some board members suggested that we contact our legislators. I had already done this, as many of us here have. I would like to tell you about these experiences. After sending Joe Courtney a lengthy letter of concern about how the vaccine mandate would affect my family and many others like ours who have extreme and life-threatening allergies to vaccines and medications, I discussed the unconstitutional nature of these mandates for those who did not want to receive the vaccines for a medical or religious or personal reason. I talked about the right to bodily integrity. I went on to say that these vaccines will literally kill my daughter and myself, and stated that it is unconstitutional to take away jobs or restrict participation in society based on personal medical choices. He responded with a letter stating how lucky we were to have the vaccines and directed me to a place where I could get mine. When I called Mr. Courtney's office to express my concern about his letter, the gentleman who answered the phone began to argue with me and talked about fake news. I quickly reminded him that he works for me, and I did not call to debate my extensive research and clearly outlined concerns with him. I went on to explain that his job was to hear my thoughts and opinions, hear the thoughts and opinions of the constituents of the state, and pass these on to the elected leaders. I told him that I would like my voice to be heard and conveyed correctly. I asked him if I could receive a telephone call from Mr. Courtney. I'm still waiting. I also contacted the governor's office and had a very similar but significantly more disturbing conversation. The gentleman on the phone was arguing with me intensely and looking things up on Google, which we all know is a biased search engine. I explained that his job was to take feedback from the constituents and convey those opinions to the governor. He told me that his job was to give the constituents the correct information. I followed this conversation up with a letter to the governor outlining this experience. I've yet to receive a response from him. I've contacted other legislators to let them know about the response I got when I contacted those who represented me. One office contacted the governor's chief of staff, and they were supposed to contact me. I have yet to receive a response from them. Even though we now have 3 vaccines available, we are still unable to go to the Capitol to be heard. What is a Connecticut resident to do? If you have an opinion that is different from the accepted narrative today, then you have no voice. So the answer to why we are here is that this is the only place where we are allowed to voice our concerns and speak freely to you, to the people at home, and to the members of this audience. In many other forums, our freedom of speech is being infringed upon. Despite the attempts to be stifled and treated like a second-class citizen, in the words of the late, great Maya Angelou, still I rise. I will find any way possible to be heard. What is happening in our country does not make sense and must be exposed and repaired. I'm here to stand up and to be counted. I hope that this board will hear me and take action to protect our children from these unconstitutional mandates. Thank you.
Thank you.